Welcome, welcome, welcome. I typically don't do this. I just so happen to be up and I wanted to come on here to talk boxing. In particular, I wanted to talk Castano Charlo or Charlo Castano 2. This is the junior middleweight undisputed unification bout that just took place. And it turned out to be one of the best that you can expect, at this particular juncture. Lived up to the hype. Uh, both fighters put on in this particular instance, and it made enough of an impression for me that I decided to come on and discuss it. It was a back and forth fight, definitely in that fight of the year candidacy. And man, I have to say, both Charlo and Castano put on without a doubt. So I have to give them nothing but the utmost of props, and it turned out to be a great fight. Shout out to my man Greg Sandridge right here. Mad. Appreciate it. Hey, and yeah, you're right about Boots Ennis. Yeah, he put on as well. He just showed that he is on a different level. He's beyond that prospect phase. You consider him to be sort of a outlier, one of those young guys who has a chance to be something major in the sport. But man, he looks like he's already there. If you threw him in with the likes of Crawford or Spence, he has a chance. Jerron Ennis is legit. He has a chance against both Crawford or Spence. Those will be tough fights for him for sure. But just looking at his pedigree, you can tell that he's just been brought up the right way. So it would be very tough to top him. But I think besides Crawford and Spence, maybe a guy like Stanionis gives him some problems. But even that, who knows? Who knows? Those are probably the two top sort of young fighters right there that are outliers. I would throw Virgil Ortiz in that mix as well, but he had an issue in his last fight and he wasn't able to make weight for 147. So there's a question as to whether he's going to continue to fight at 147. But Virgil Ortiz, I feel like he would be in that mix as well because he has that type of stylistic feel to him. Rodolfo, what's up, Rodolfo? Hey, appreciate you joining on. Yeah, I literally predicted the exact stoppage run for Boots and Charlo. Watching Pulev and Forrest now. Oh yeah, Pulev and Forrest. That's funny. I hadn't looked into that one. I wonder what happened ultimately. But I think Forrest had a good showing against John Gillet, and that happened on I believe it was the zone card or whatever. But cool. I did see someone get knocked out on that Triller card. Oh yeah, Evan Holyfield. Evander Holyfield's son got knocked out by, I don't know who he was fighting, but he got knocked out on this Triller card. But he got caught with a good overhand right that sent him down, and he was a little bit woozy, and the referee stopped it. So, I mean, in those situations, you never know. Can't complain, really. But, yeah, Forrest, he brings it. Or he brings it. He's a tough little vet. You'll have to let me know, Rodolfo, who actually won that, or you know what? I can look that up too. Charlo showed some guts. I feared he would get caught by Castano's left hook, but he reserved and finished. Yes, without a doubt. Man, it was a good fight. I was everything short of being on my feet. I was basically going crazy here. It was insane. I was all in. I was dialed in for that fight. I thought both of them did their thing. Man, Castano, he's tough. He is absolutely tough. He can take some shots and he keeps coming forward. So Charlo had to give it his all to be able to get him out of there. And you can tell after that fight, he gave it his all. And I have to give him props. I know that I'm on record. I thought that Castano pulled out that first fight. That being said, I do think he was the most hurt in that first fight. He just so happened to be able to withstand and not get knocked out in that fight. But in this one, he did get caught, and it ultimately was his downfall to a certain degree. But, man, Castano is a warrior. If you look at Castano and Charlo, hey, two best 154-pounders off credentials and all of that stuff. So they'd be tough outings, or they are tough outings for everyone. The guy that I think that is next in line at 154 is Sebastian Fundora. He was out there. Tim Tszyu is good too, but I think Sebastian Fundora is a sort of unicorn in the sport of boxing. So he is someone who is so unique that I think he's going to be a problem in the amount of pressure he applies. But if you have the enough power to keep him off, then that's your best chance. You need to have enough power to deal with the guy. And if you're a very good boxer, technically, and you have enough power, I think that bodes well for you. I did a little animated video. There's a guy, Jermonte Clark. He has 2 losses, but he's not one of those guys that is a big name. But he was able to do some pretty decent things against Fundora. But that being said, I do think Fundora is, man, he's a problem. He's going to be tough at 154, even for the champions. Just given his style and his size, he looks so weird every time I see him. It looks funny, because you're not used to seeing someone 6'6" at 154 pounds. Maybe there are people in other sports. I know there are some small basketballers out there, but man, it's weird seeing it in the boxing ring. But he's legit. Matt, my man, Sandridge, Thurman, and Ennis would be a nice. Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Hey, I know you mentioned that Thurman and Ennis would be pretty good. It's just a matter of whether Thurman would take that fight. I think that Thurman is looking for big money fights right now because of the fact that he was out for a good deal and kind of lost some momentum. So I think he's all about the big money fights right now. But that would be a good one. Hey, if it was on the undercard of Spence Crawford, even better, right? Even better. Rodolfo, yeah, Forrest is a warrior, without a doubt. Evan got upset by a union electrician. Okay, good to go. Yeah, Evan, what'll show his medal is how he bounces back. So hopefully he bounces back. Oh, wow, Yoka lost. Man, that is so crazy. I didn't know that. I was actually watching that card. I got through all of the fights except for Yoka's fight before these events started to come on with Zerto, and then of course this card with Charlo. Wow, that is crazy. I didn't know Yoka got upset by Vicoli. Wow, thanks Rodolfo. Well, I don't like spoilers, but no, it's all good. At this particular juncture, that's crazy. So Yoka got upset. Wow, that's a shocker right there. I'm gonna have to go ahead and watch that. Fules winning. Oh, so that Triller thing is still going on. What the heck? That is crazy. It's not purchase worthy, but I'm going to see what's up. I didn't know it was still going on. I assumed it was over by now. But yeah, thanks, Rodolfo. Mad. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't think Charlo would fare well with punches in the clinch and close with. Hey, yeah, no doubt about it. Oh, so this is the YouTube. Hey, I'm about to link up with you. I'm gonna have to get you on here one day. Mad, my man Sandridge holding it down. Super Fire, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to get you on here one day without a doubt. I didn't even know that was you right there. But that's good stuff. But yeah, you're right. Man, that was a good fight. Yeah. And Fedora, without a doubt, problem for anybody. Without a doubt, he's gonna continue to pose to be a problem moving forward. His size is just something you're not used to seeing. Yeah, he's such a unique fighter. I'm fond of his style and everything because he goes against conventional wisdom. You would think he would use his size to his advantage, but no, he'll get in there and scrap with the best of them. He's an interesting fighter. Matt, he beat up Finish, got the shot before him. So yeah, I'm sure Thurman would. Thurman kind of he kind of brought that on himself in a sense. I know he's had some outside interests other than boxing. He's gotten back in the mix over the last year, but he had a long layoff, and then I know he was injured and all that stuff. Manny Pacquiao beat him in what was a good fight, good display by Thurman, just not enough for Pacquiao, who was still, very lethal even at that advanced age or whatever. So yeah, Thurman, I'm sure he would be pretty bummed if Ennis got a shot at Spence or the Spence Crawford winner in the aftermath of their fight, assuming it's going to happen, and it seems that all roads are leading towards that actually happening. I mean, it's meant to be in the sport, so hopefully we get that. And what about Jared Anderson? Yeah, Jared Anderson is the real deal. Man, he's next in line at heavyweight. As far as the young guys that are out there right now, some of the young prospects, I think he's the top. So Yoka was one of the prospects that was out there, but apparently he just got knocked off by Bacoli. I didn't see that fight, but I'm pretty interested in seeing how that went down. I wasn't expecting that, but that being said, Yoka is still pretty much unproven, so they can't say that it's out of the realm of possibility. But definitely Jared Anderson, I think he is the guy at 100 or he's one of the guys at heavyweight who will actually be a star in the sport if he continues at the trajectory he's on. I feel like he's passed every test thus far. He seems to have gotten better with each fight. And not only that, he seems to be keen on making sure that takes place. And he has that entertainment factor to him as well, because Jared Anderson, he knows that, you have to put butts in the seats, and he takes that approach to with how he comes out to fights and things of that nature. But I think that if Jared Anderson continues on his trajectory, he has a bright future in the sport, and he's one of those next heavyweights that will be there at the top of the rankings. He's not a huge guy, but he has decent size, power, and speed. So it'd just be a question of who is at the top, who has the titles by the time he's ready for title contention. I think he's further along than it may seem. I think he could pass a lot of tests that are out there, but it's just a matter of who will be the titleist by the time he gets there. I think he could fare well. Of course, Tyson Fury would be a problem, just given his size and then his skill set, which would be the antithesis of Jared Anderson in some sense. But that being said, hey, that could be an interesting matchup a couple of years from now, But I think it would be certainly a couple of years away, and it certainly depends on whether Tyson Fury is serious about his retirement. I don't think that he's going to stay retired per se here within the near term, but who knows here in the future if he'll be retired like 2 years from now or something like that. But it is one of those things. It goes next. No doubt about it. How do you feel about Conor Benn compared to fighters? Oh yeah, Conor Benn is legit. Conor Benn, he's passed all the tests that have been put in front of him thus far. I like Conor. I think he's good. I think he's gotten better. I think his power seems to be legit and real. And it's just a matter of how he holds up against the absolute best in the division. I like the way he stopped the South African fighter, Chris Van Heerden, who was a seemingly pretty durable fighter, in the past. And he had some quality matches in his career. And Conor Benn, he went about it the right way. He doesn't play games when he's in there. And he seems like a guy that is 100% dialed in and focused, and he doesn't mind putting a hurting on someone. So it'll be interesting for Conor Benn. He's in an interesting spot because he wants to fight the likes of Amir Khan, who, of course, just retired. And then I know he also wants to fight the likes of Adrian Broner, which I don't know. I don't know if that's a good one. Not necessarily on Conor Benn's part, but on Broner's part. I see that Broner has been training or whatever, but I don't know how that fight would go. It's not like one I'd be excited about watching, to be honest with you. But hey, Broner still has a name and it'll be a matter of how he looks. I think it would be interesting if Conor Benn were to be the first to stop Broner. That being said, if he were at this particular stage, it wouldn't be a shocker either. So it's kind of interesting with there. But Emmanuel, I think his first name's Emmanuel Stanionis, the Lithuanian fighter, or Stanionis, he actually is called out Conor Ben. Now that would be a very, very, very tough fight for him. I don't know that he would win that. But you know, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think it's going to happen, but I like the prospect of what Conor Ben brings to the table as far as star power, because he seems to have, the tangibles to go along with things. And once he continues to get out there more, hey, the sky's the limit in a sense. I think he's going to be a real player here at 147. I love him. I don't think he's as far along as Ennis. Well, you know what? I mean, yeah, Ben has a decent number of fights. Yeah, I would say Ennis is like the guy right now. Ben would be under that. And then just thinking about the sort of next in line at 147, I do think Boots Ennis would probably be number one as far as the young guys that I would have there. But Ben would be right up there in the mix, I would say, the 3, 4, 5 welterweights who have a chance to do something major here moving forward, especially with the right matchups. That's what's going to be key right there, matchups. Was going Facebook user call people Vamos con Aguero. Cool. Con Aguero. I know him from being a soccer player, but I don't know if that's what you're referencing. But cool, my man. Been against the likes of Tank, well, they're at 135 right now. Ben is fighting at I think he's at 147. Let me see, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's at 147. That being said, I think Teofimo, he's supposed to be moving to 140 pounds, so he'd be closer to it. Let me see, Conor Ben. That's it. Apparently, Conor. Yeah, he's at 147. Yeah, the welterweight. But apparently, Conor Ben is Oh yeah, yeah, without a doubt. But apparently, Conor Ben is in talks to fight Jose Ramirez, who is the 147-pound fighter who's very good. He's out of California, the San Jose area. He lost to Josh Taylor in a great fight. I thought it was a great fight. And he had his moments. He came up short. He got dropped twice, and Josh Taylor became undisputed champion. So this was an opportunity for both of them. So Jose Ramirez is apparently moving up to 147 pounds. How he'll look up there was, that's still, a question that's up in the air. I think that Conor Ben is a tough test for moving up to 147 pounds, if you ask me. Just given that Ramirez is a fight removed from that Taylor fight. He looked pretty decent in his last fight. I can't remember who he was fighting, but I thought he looked pretty decent in his last fight. But he hasn't fought at 147 pounds. He wasn't necessarily a big 140-pounder. So that's what makes it interesting, considering, as far as I know, Conor Ben has been fighting at 147. That may have been where he started at. It could, as far as I know. I believe that's where Ben started. So I think that's going to make it tough for Ramirez, having not seen him against anyone at 147 pounds, and going in with a guy like Ben, who, while he doesn't have the resume of Ramirez, he has been fighting bigger fighters, and sometimes that matters. We saw that with Bivol Canelo. So what's going on, my man? Ivan, shout out Ivan. Rodolfo, Zerto versus Bivol. Your opinions on who wins and today was a great. Yeah, definitely. Hey, I watched Zerto. Yeah, he looked pretty good in that fight. I was actually watching at the same time I was watching this Showtime card, but I didn't know the opponent. Of course, he was out of Germany. I'd imagine a lot of people probably didn't know him, but I think Zerto looks to be the goods. I've always thought he was pretty good, and I consider him a more exciting fighter than I guess some, because they made a note during the broadcast that he was considered not to be exciting by some. But I don't know. I thought Zerto always brought it, and he's a big guy. Apparently, he came in 29 pounds. He rehydrated 29 pounds within that one day. That's insane. He was at 204. I knew he was a big guy, but I didn't know he was that big. Man, that's crazy. He rehydrated to 204 pounds. That's coming from the 175-pound limit. But Zerto's the real deal. I think he has a good mix of everything. You know, he can box, he can punch a good bit. I think he's actually a little bit more crafty than it may seem, and he's willing to stand in there and trade if he needs to as well. If Benavidez moves up to 175 pounds, I think him and Zerto would make for like one of those all-time classic type matchups or fights to take place. I know that's likely not going to happen, but that they had the makings of that. But that being said, Zerto versus Bivol, I think that would be an excellent fight. I had to go with my guy Bivol. I've always been pretty fond of Bivol. I think he's a great boxer. This would be tough though. I thought that the fights against Jesse Hart were pretty telling for Zerto, even though they came at a lower weight. I can't remember if that second one was at 175 or not, but I thought that Zerto showed that a decent boxer, a pretty good, very good boxer, I would say, in Jesse Hart, who had size and power. Zerto was able to break him down as well. So Zerto's the real deal. I think it'll be a challenge for Bivol, probably his toughest challenge. And Zerto rather seems very confident. He keeps calling Bivol out, so I'm sure he sees something or he has some feel about it that he thinks that he can get Bivol out of there in some capacity. So that would be a very interesting fight. But I'd have to side with Bivol via decision in what, has the makings of something that could exceed expectations. I've seen both of them fight live on one occasion for Zerto, and multiple occasions for Bivol. And I think both of them are top caliber guys. And that would be a good fight. So in my opinion, Rodolfo, that's a darn good fight, actually. That's too big for Brazil, not 20. Hey man, I feel you. Zerto's legit. I think that he looks better. He's looking better now at 175 now that he's a couple of fights in or a few fights in. And I think he's a problem for a lot of 170 pounders or 75 pounders. It's just a matter of who he gets matched up with. This guy he fought today, wasn't one of those guys that is really going to provide a boost to his resume. But that being said, he's been putting on good displays at 175, and that Yunieski Gonzalez fight, man, I'm one of those ones who, naive as it may be, I thought Gonzalez might have been done for, but Gonzalez brought it, and Zerto was able to answer the call, So, Zerto is legit. Don't get me wrong, Zerto is legit as it gets, and especially considering his size, he is bigger. I mean, in terms of, not just tall, of course, being 6'3", but man, the fact that he is over 200 he's over 200 pounds, man. That's crazy. That is crazy. I didn't think he was over 200 pounds, but this pretty much, I guess, confirms it. So, he's going to be a problem for anyone at that size, I would say. You're right. Bivol, he's not a huge 175 pounds, though I thought he filled out pretty well. He looked pretty filled out there against Canelo, maybe 175 pounds is fitting on him a bit better because he's now 31 years of age. But he's not a huge 175 pounder. But that being said, he was able to deal with Joe Smith Jr. and his punches, and I think that Joe Smith Jr., between him and Arthur Beterbiev, I think those are the two biggest punchers at 175, at least that I can think of off top. There may be some other guys out there, but off top, those are seemingly the two biggest punchers. You can argue that Joe Smith Jr. is the biggest puncher at 175 pounds, and Bivol, albeit he hung on by a thread in that 10th round, but Bivol was able to withstand that and outbox him. He got hit, and I believe it was the 10th round of their fight, but he was able to hold on and finish the fight. And, the decision in itself wasn't to be disputed at all. So, hey, Joe Smith Jr., he's a legit puncher, and he swings with bad intention. So it depends on how he compares to Zerto. So that's another one that would be good. Zerto versus Joe Smith Jr. I believe that would be an interesting matchup. I say it good. It might be good, but interesting without a doubt. Without a doubt. Oh yeah. I'm with you, man. Benavidez versus Zerto, major key right there. Hopefully we could get that at some point. I think that would be good, regardless of whether it's for title contention or anything of that nature. I think just in general, they're just gonna make for a good matchup and a good fight. So, excuse me, I'd be down with that at any point, especially if they do it in like Arizona. I think that they'll bring out a pretty good crowd and they'll put on a pretty decent show, without a doubt. But yeah, so Bebo Zerto will be instant classic. Oh yeah, hey, right on, Rodolfo. Yeah, hey, yeah, that's my thought behind it. That's my thought behind it as well. Shout out Ivan. Peace. What's wrong with people not coming? Yeah, shout out Ivan. Yeah, there's some people on YouTube or whatever, but yeah, it's one of those things. Shout out though. But yeah, man. But yeah, great night. I just wanted to come on here because yeah, that Charlo Castano too, it lived up to the hype, and I think that set the tone right there. That between that, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, those two for sure set the tone over the last couple of weeks as far as fights of the year, just top caliber fights where you have two of the top at their division, two of the top at their game going against each other. I think those set the tone, and both are for sure leading candidates right about now. And I would say that yeah, it's going to be interesting moving forward. What can top that? If this is any indication, man, I'm happy for what's in store moving forward, without a doubt, because this is not even taken to yeah, Canelo Bivol. We've had that. That was a good fight, but we haven't had Crawford versus Spence, which could potentially happen. Excuse me, this year. It's always interesting with those. Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. The best starting to fight the best. So this Crawford Spence, you never know with those top level, top caliber fighters where you get two top 10 guys who are regarded as the best in their division. We don't often see it, and sometimes it's a little bit overdue when we do see it, but I think that we do finally get the opportunity to see Crawford versus Spence, and you never know how it's going to go, but just given the mentality of both fighters, I think it's gonna be a tone setter, for the next decade or so, because they just seem to have the mentality to make for a great fight. Because Crawford, he has a mean streak in him. Spence, I think, intentionally came out in this last fight to show that he's the real deal. The accident hasn't affected him to the degree that individuals thought. And I think the way he handled Ugas, who was a top caliber fighter, the way he handled him, it just goes to show that, hey, Spence, Crawford, oh no, that's spontaneous combustion right there. Best way of putting it. Oh yeah, why not Rodolfo? Pulev versus Suarez? What went down? A part of me thinks that Pulev at the top of his game should defeat Forrest. In a perfect world. That being said, excuse me, I don't know where Pulev is fully at. But that being said, he has been a guy that's up there, not very fast, but a big body who could punch somewhat, and he's a pretty decent boxer, has a decent jab and all that stuff. Forrest, either way you slice it, yeah, I think you have to view Pulev as the sort of favorite or better fighter in the mix. So I'm gonna assume that Pulev pulled it off. But if Forrest did, then props to him. He's been on a pretty decent run. He had an argument to have won that fight against Zhang Jilei, even though he didn't get it. He had an argument that he won that fight. So him beating Pulev, hey, that adds to the mix a good bit. But I think Pulev had a little bit of size on him. That being said, that hasn't stopped him in the past. But that's excuse me, that's a very interesting fight, though. I would say Fight TV, Triller, man, Triller's been putting on some interesting stuff, some very interesting stuff. There's been a question as to whether Triller would actually last, and I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. I don't know. It just seems like people are getting it and keeping it going. There you go. There it is. Rodolfo Pulev won via unanimous decision. Okay. Yeah. Forrest, yeah, he was pretty much shot in the second half. Not surprised. Conditioning. Yeah, conditioning becomes key. That's a big thing, of course. And I think that is definitely something that has probably plagued Forrest, if you look at it big picture, as far as where he is in his career and where he had the potential of being. Just one of those things. Because hopefully it's cover a banger. Oh, hey, no doubt about it. No doubt about it, man. Let's set something up. We have some good stuff coming up. I'm gonna reach out to you. Yeah, we can make something happen for sure. So we're gonna keep this going every Sunday, but Saturdays and all that stuff. Even on one of these in the aftermath of a fight, we can make it happen. It'd be great to have you on. We have some. Yeah, I had to look at the schedule, see what else is coming up, but I know we had some pretty decent stuff coming up. We got Joshua versus Usyk that is going down. That's one we discussed. That should be an interesting one. This rematch. We'll see what happens at 135. I see mandatory or of something of that nature was ordered at 135 for Ryan Garcia and the one guy, what is his name? The fighter who just beat Gamboa and he fought Tank. Isaac Cruz, yeah. So there's a mandatory, apparently, I forget which sanctioning body that has been ordered. And so we could see those two. I favor Ryan Garcia. I think Cruz will give him a fight for, however long or whatever period he can. But I do favor Ryan Garcia because I think his length is going to be a problem. So it should be a pretty interesting fight. Rodolfo, yeah, congrats on the collab with Random. Good stuff and learn something new. Hey, appreciate it. No doubt about it. We're about to do something else. We're about to do some stuff on Sam Langford, the great Sam Langford. We're gonna set it up. Yeah, it could be a series of things because he has such an extensive career. He fought some of those guys, man, their resume is insane. And then just the pace and length at which they fought, man, it's pretty crazy. So we could get a series of videos out of that. And Langford had a pretty decent rivalry with some of the other top black heavyweights from that time. So it makes it interesting as far as the places we can go. But we do need to dig into there a little bit more. It comes down to narrowing down a set of fights because they have so many that, yeah, it's tough. You'd be talking like 20, 30, 40, 50 or more fights in its current state. So it's just narrowing that down to something manageable. But that's probably where the multi-fight series or multi-series thing comes in. We'll see, though. We'll see. Isaac Cruz is taking that. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what tip you on. I can't agree with you there. I like Isaac Cruz. He surprised me, but I think Ryan's gonna probably stop him. I'm calling it right now. If Isaac Cruz and Ryan Garcia fight, I'm thinking Ryan is gonna stop him. I like Cruz though, but no, I don't think it's happening. I think that he will meet his match there at 135. Okay, Rodolfo. Oh, you're going Isaac. Well, your heart's telling you Isaac Cruz as well. Okay, I guess I'm on the other end of that right there. I can't say that I agree with that. I like him, but But yeah, I can't agree with there. I can't agree with you there. No doubt no doubt about it. Uh, Cameron Burrell, what's up? What's up, man? Zipper 5, man. It's been a minute. Been a minute. A hot minute. All is good, man. Hope all is well with you. Shout out. Send my regards to your family as well. I know it's been a number of years now. Seeing all the Marine Corps buddies hopping up in this thing. But shout out Cameron without a doubt. But yeah, it's been crazy. Yeah, it's been a crazy fight night as you mentioned. Yeah, no, without a doubt, crazy fight night. Yeah, this was a good night. And I caught some stuff yesterday as well. That dude Scardinia, he's out of Italy. He got knocked out, and yeah, it was a pretty decent fight. Well, not for him at least, since he was on the rough end of it, but a decent matchup, I guess you can say. Pulev's literally going to be in his brother's going to. Oh wow! So that card is still going on. Wow, it's crazy, eh? But you know, Triller, they do it big. Agree, Cameron. Big fight night. I think Cruz stops Garcia in the fifth. Woo, that's a tough one. So you and Rodolfo, hey, y'all are in a boat of your own. I don't think it's happening, but we shall see. We're gonna remember this. We're gonna have to pin this. We're gonna come back to this moment because we're gonna need to find out. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility, but that being said, I think that Ryan he's gained my respect. I think he's shown that he is better than what many may have thought, and he's one of the best at 135 pounds. And he just needs the matchups. I think he'll rise to the occasion. That's what he's shown, and I think he will rise to the occasion against Cruz, who I think is not like I said, is a very good fighter. Came from a lower weight, and I don't think that the Gamboa fight answers a ton of questions overall because Gamboa is so far past it. Gamboa is one of my favorite fighters, just overall seeing him in the past. So it sucks seeing him as this shell of himself at this stage. You know, he missed a lot of time due to promotional issues, right as he was in the midst of his prime or right there around it. So yeah, now he's sort of like a punching bag being passed around the 135-pound division. But yeah, so that and then Cruz is showing against Tank, which was a good one. I don't know if Tank was 100% up as far as how he went about preparation for that fight. I don't know. But hey, Cruz can only do his part, and he did it. He did have a good showing. But I think when he runs into Ryan Garcia, that's going to be very telling. TDV from the MAG. Hey, you already know what it is. Still making that happen. Still making it happen, man. Still making it happen. But let's see how Sergey Kovalev. Oh yeah, Sergey is headlining this. Ryan breaks his hand. But yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Sergey freaking Kovalev. Yeah, he was a top guy for a minute. Yeah, been through a little rough patch here. Not necessarily in the boxing world per se, but even sort of outside of the ring. So, hey, hopefully he can get some things going. I don't know who he's train. I wonder who's training him now. But that's interesting. Yeah, excuse me. This one kind of came out of nowhere, but yeah, gotta give a shout out to Sergey Kovalev. You know, he entertained fans for a good bit, and he was doing his thing. But yeah, cruiserweight, yeah, that should be fairly interesting for him. Yeah, at his stage, fairly interesting. Cruiserweight is tough. Cruiserweight doesn't get the respect it deserves. It's at a lull right now. I like the World Boxing Super Series because I felt like it really put some shine on the cruiserweights out there. And right now, that's at a lull. COVID being one of the reasons behind it. The pandemic kind of halted something. That being said, I think Marius Briedis is the best cruiserweight out there. And then, you know, running behind him, I think Lawrence Okoli has shown that he has that potential to be the top guy as well, or one of the top guys. I still like Dorticos. So, but yeah, Bridas, I think, man, he's an underrated fighter who doesn't get his fair amount of shine, and it is unfortunate. I think he's like 37 now, so who knows how many top shelf fights he has left in him. But when he's on his game, and he has been in his last several fights, he is definitely one of the top boxers out there in the world, period. He's just legit in that regard. And he gave Usyk a run for his money at cruiserweight when they fought in that World Boxing Super Series final the first time around. So, but yeah, cruiserweight for Sergey Kovalev at this stage is very interesting. It'll be interesting to see how he looks, especially how he carries it in terms of cruiserweight. I haven't seen what he looks like body wise or whatever, but he wasn't one of those sort of ripped or shredded 175 pounders. So I'm wondering how 200 pounds looks on him. But that being said, he was a puncher. So they say you maintain your punch to a certain degree. So maybe he can do some things up there. Garcia's great, but he's done ducking. Duck. But it's funny. Hey, I'm with you. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. Oh, Pitbull. We're gonna see what happens. I got into this argument with some individuals on Twitter. I commented on this Pitbull post, and they were getting at me. So I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But it is what it is. I'm going with Ryan. I just think Ryan's size is going to play a factor. And Ryan low key has some power. He can put some punches together and get you up out of there. Rodolfo, hopefully the World Boxing Super Series makes a comeback. Hey, I agree. I think that was good in terms of tournament format or tournament style. I think they've done it the best, at least what we've seen in terms of the last couple of decades. The Super Six was good. Super Six World Boxing Classic. I have a poster from them I got from Showtime, won in some contest. But yeah, that was a good one. The formatting was a little bit different. Didn't quite work out in the same capacity as this World Boxing Super Series. I think they've done it the right way, and I think it's a great production as well. And we've managed to get some great fights out of it, and hopefully we get more of that. And I hope they keep cruiserweight in the mix as well, because in the two that they've had cruiserweight as a mainstay that's been a part of both. And I think that's the right way to go. It gives those guys some shine, and they turn out to be some pretty decent fights as well. So hopefully we get a World Boxing Super Series Part 3 with the cruiserweights, and maybe we get this Lawrence Okoli versus Marius Bridas fight or something of that capacity. I know they've talked about Okoli going up to heavyweight, but I think based on his last fight, that's probably not something they're going to want to do very quickly. They're probably going to let that marinate a little bit, let him continue to establish himself at cruiserweight, or at least establish himself as the best at cruiserweight, which isn't a foregone conclusion right now. I still think, as I said, Marius Bridas is that guy. Motivated, ambitious, and driven. Garcia's a beast, don't get me wrong. That I just can't shake that upset season feeling. Yeah, hey, I feel you. I think there are some guys out there that can beat him. I just don't think Isaac Cruz is that guy. I don't think. I think stylistically, Isaac Cruz is going to play into Ryan's hands. It's not going the distance. I'll tell you that. It is not going the distance. Ryan Garcia would get Isaac Cruz out of there. I think that would be the wrong matchup for Isaac Cruz. Just given what Ryan brings to the table compared to what Pitbull brings to the table, I just think Ryan is all wrong for him, stylistically and size-wise. And yeah, hopefully we get that fight and we'll get to see firsthand. But I don't see it going too far. Maybe 4 rounds, maybe 4 or 5 rounds, as you mentioned, but not in favor of Pitbull, in favor of King Rye, as he calls himself. I just think, yeah, he'd be a problem for him. But Pitbull will make for some good fights with a lot of guys in or around 135 pounds. But yeah, 135 pounds, yeah, it's legit. Got a lot of good guys. Now, I think the cream of the crop, as far as super featherweight or junior lightweight, you think about 130 pounds to 135 pounds, even potentially up to 140. I think ultimately, when it's all said and done, the cream of the crop is Shakur Stevenson. I think he's going to turn out to be the absolute best of that bunch. And if he can get fights with all of those guys, I think he will prove such, because I think he has a high level pedigree that it would be hard to match in any scenario in the boxing ring. You have to really, really bring it. You have to bring something to the table. And the way he made Oscar Valdez look in his last fight just shows that he's establishing himself as one of the potential greats of sort of this era, or what will become of this era. He's establishing himself. So when it's all said and done, when we look up and down between 130 and 140, maybe even up to 147, I think that Shakur Stevenson is going to be the guy to watch. Now, Boots would be a good fight, Shakur and Boots, but I don't think that's going to ever happen. I don't think it's going to work out timing and weight wise. So when you look at it, but yeah, I think Shakur is going to be that guy. But man, I think that lost to Tank Field, fuck out of Cruz, he's going. Yeah, Philistine on sure. Garcia Smart, you get out. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I question Cruz's power. I don't know that Cruz has power at 130 or 135 like it may seem. He was able to stop Gamboa. I think that's one thing, but I think it'll be a different story in there with Ryan Garcia. I do think it'll be a different story. So I don't know if his power is as legit as it may seem. But yeah, he's a scrappy fighter for sure. He's scrappy. He can take a punch, and he's willing to dish them out just as good as he can take them. But I don't know. I don't know if he just doesn't seem natural at 135. At least at this particular stage, he doesn't seem like a natural 135 pounder. He seems to me like a guy who is fighting at 135 pounds because the opportunities came about. But I don't know that he's full-fledged and naturally, or he went up to 135 pounds in the appropriate manner, the right way. I think it was more of an opportunity thing, and that tends to be the case with you could say with any fight or whatever. But I don't know. I don't think he's a top 135 pounders by virtue of him being talented enough to be in the mix there with anyone. But yeah, I think he's gonna. I don't see him beating like Devin Haney. I don't see him beating Teofimo if Teofimo was at 135 still, or if he continues to operate there in some capacity. I don't see him beating Ryan. I don't see him beating George Kambosos. I would like to see Isaac Cruz against, I believe he's still at 135. I could be wrong, but Jose Pedraza. If he beats somebody like Jose Pedraza, then I would say that, okay, yeah, he's a legit 135 pounder. Assuming Pedraza's fighting at, I can't remember if Pedraza's fighting at 135 or what. Jose Pedraza. So Jose Pedraza is fighting at, let me see here, the sniper. The sniper, Jose Pedraza, the Puerto Rican sniper. Let's see. I think it's going slow, but I feel like he's fighting. Oh, so yeah, he fought at 140 in his last one. Cause that's who. Yeah, you're right. That is who freaking. That is who freaking Jose Ramirez beat. So Pedraza is no longer fighting at 135, I guess. But that being said, if Isaac Cruz were to beat Jose Pedraza, then I would think he's a legit 135 pounder. Hopefully, Jose Pedraza goes back down to 135 pounds. But I don't think that Isaac Cruz would beat Jose Pedraza. I could be in a minority, but I don't think it's that definitive. I like Isaac Cruz. I think he's cool and all that stuff, but I think Jose Pedraza would give him problems. Man, Gamboa has a teammate for Vasu. No doubt about it. No doubt. Why is Teofimo big right now? Well, I don't know. I think that Teofimo, he was probably. I think he was having problems. I think he was having problems. Well, I think he probably no longer wanted to try and make 135. So he's supposed to be going up to 140. That Camboso's loss wasn't in the plan as far as his trajectory, and that was a weird sequence just overall because he had ultimately that fight was supposed to take place well before it did, and then there were a bunch of delays, and then it went to that purse bid, and because he didn't agree to the amounts that FEMA or not FEMA, but Top Rank wanted to offer for the fight, so it went to a purse bid, and then Triller got the purse bid, and that didn't quite work out in his favor, so it lost a lot of momentum, and that kind of played into a lot of stuff. So he was out for, if not a year, damn near a year. And yeah, that really didn't help matters for him. And I think that has we're seeing sort of the fallout of that, especially with him taking that loss. Had he have won, he may have more leverage. But having lost, and then I don't know what the relationship is like with Top Rank at this particular point. I have no idea. I haven't really looked into it, but I'd imagine there's probably some, they have to sit down and rectify some things given how this last situation went and Teofimo ultimately going with Triller. Yeah, I don't know. I need to see what's up. I'm trying to set up something, maybe try and set up an interview to see what is going on. Where is Teofimo Lopez? How about that? I've interviewed him a couple of times. I'm going to see if I can set up a Where is Teofimo Lopez interview so we can see what's the deal with Teofimo, because you're right. I'm used to hearing him and seeing him out there, but I don't know what's the deal. He's been in the Zone's advertising, so I don't know if he's with the Zone or what, but I thought he was Top Rank, or at least he was still under contract with them, but he has been in the Zone advertising, so that would make it pretty interesting. Not sure what's the deal with him. But yeah, I'm going to see if I can see what's up. What's next for Anyway? That's a good question. I don't know. So yeah, Anyway is a beast. Anyway is a beast, Top 10 pound for pound fighter right there. I mean, he puts on a show. He looks unstoppable at times. But I think he's supposed to fight Nonito Donaire or something in a rematch, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's supposed to happen at some point. That might be what's next in store, as a matter of fact. Anyway. Yeah, I think him and Donaire are gonna settle the score. They had a great fight of the year candidate last time out. I think it's been like 2 years now. But that may be what's in store, because there was some back and forth as far as the potential for Inoue and Donaire, as well as Inoue and Jose Riel Casemiro, and that didn't happen. Then I know Casemiro was supposed to take on Nonito Donaire at one point. That didn't happen either. So I think there's going to be Donaire Inoue in a rematch here at some point. And it should be good. Should be a good fight. Yeah. I just looked. June 7th. It's scheduled for June 7th. We got the WBA Super IBF and Ring Bantamweight titles on the line. Oh, and WBC as well. Well, Donaire has, Inoue has the first ones I mentioned. I guess Donaire may have the WBC or maybe vacant or whatever. But that should be a good fight. Should certainly be a good fight. Yeah, you're right, Rodolfo. Yeah, just looked it up. and that's what's going down. There's going to be a rematch with the Filipino Flash. Great fighter, great fighter. I mean, it's crazy to think that Nonito is still performing at a high level at this particular point, but he's redefined his game. He used to be this athletic, super explosive guy, and he still has some power and all that stuff. Not as fast or whatever. It doesn't move quite as well, but he redefined his game and makes it work for him now at this older age or this older stage of his career or whatever. Gotta love Nonito Donaire. He's one of the most entertaining fighters that we've had out there in the last decade plus. He brings it every time. He doesn't cheat the fans. I can certainly say that he doesn't cheat the fans at all. Ivan, you said if Messi had 3 balls, why would he want 2? This is why Nicolino Loche played poker. Oh, Loche, yeah, I know Loche is a historic fighter there. See Messi, but yeah, as far as Messi, I don't know if you're talking about Lionel or what, but yeah, that was a fighter year in 2019. Crazy, yeah. So 2019, wow, that's right before that pandemic kicked off. So yeah, it's been that long, huh? But yeah, it was a part of the World Boxing Super Series. As a matter of fact, the finals of it. That was a good one, without a doubt. Yeah, Nonito Donaire, man, still bringing it. He still looks good. The way he stopped the guy, this undefeated fighter in one of his previous fights. I can't remember the guy's name off top, but man, Donaire is the legit. He's the real deal still. But Inoue, hey, this could be the point in which Inoue, it's kind of Father Time comes into play. You have to think that Father Time will come into the fold at some point, and this might be that time because I don't know if Inoue is in his prime. If not, he's damn close to it. He's damn close to it, and he's right there, so he could be getting even better, all right, Matt, my man, Sandra, yes, sir. Have a good one. Semper Fi. Semper Fi. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Definitely, you have a good one as well, man. But yeah, man, this has been cool. We're gonna be back on this thing here with Boz. We're gonna kick it off tomorrow. We're gonna do a little something, talk about these fights here tonight, how things went down. Might throw in some historic stuff in the mix as well, just see how it goes. But yeah, we'll be tuning back in for sure. But yeah, appreciate y'all hopping on and chatting and everything. And yeah, Matt, we're gonna get you on here. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna discuss some things. I see you doing your thing out there, man. And I'm definitely with it. So yeah, we're gonna make something happen for sure. Gotta have those discussions. But yeah, all is good though. All is good. Yeah. Boz is not here. So yeah. Yeah, catch us tomorrow, Rodolfo. Yeah, he should be in the mix. I hit him up. What would be yesterday now, but yeah, he should be in the mix. So all should be in accord. But yeah, we appreciate it, the discussion and all that stuff, and keep it going. And if anyone ever wants to hop on, like I said, let us know. Hey, we can make it happen. We can get you in here. We can talk boxing. We like to do that. It is what it is. We're about that boxing talk. Yeah, and shout out Yvonne as well. Nicolino, yeah, genius without a doubt. I need to study up on him more. I know of him, and I know he did get things in the sport. Sometimes you have those names that stand out. He's definitely one of them to be remembered without a doubt. But yeah, we may have to do something on him. May have to go in depth on him. I need to do a little bit of research myself on him. But I know, yeah, he's legit without a doubt. But yeah, appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all checking in. We're gonna be back in this thing tomorrow, as I mentioned. So hey, feel free to come through. We'll kick it back off. More discussions, the more the merrier. And great night of boxing, man. Great night of boxing. So yeah. Other than that, definitely have a good night, and we'll check in the morning.